Hello, in this play we're finishing with Macbeth's final words of the play. Before my body I throw my warlike shield, lay on Macduff, and damned be him that first cries, hold, enough. Hopefully I read it in a way there that you can see the iambic pentameter is maintained, unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed, and so forth. And this suggests, if we're looking now at form and structure, that the ending feels complete. Macbeth is speaking in full iambic pentameter. Shakespeare is fully happy that Macbeth is getting his just desserts. He's being punished for his wicked life and is being killed. Well, that is one way of looking at it. And you can add to that a little bit of language analysis. Macbeth now talks about being damned. In my previous analyses, you will have seen that he ceases to believe in God and he doesn't see God's judgment as relevant. But here, in his final line, he's turning to the idea that his soul is going to be damned. He is going to go to hell. But another way of interpreting this is that he is completely unrepentant. He is not going to ask for enough. He's just going to keep going till the bitter end. And in this reading, you can see Macbeth as a psychopathic warrior. And other evidence that he's quite psychopathic here is that his only form of defense, his warlike shield, he's throwing away from his body. So you can play this line with the actor throwing his shield away, embracing death, or at least embracing the opportunity of fighting and risking death by giving the advantage to his enemy. So if he throws his shield away, he's deliberately making it so that Macduff is able to kill him. And in my previous analyses, you should remember that Macbeth has provoked Macduff deliberately, slaughtering Macduff's family in order to give Macduff that passion to slay him. He's chosen the person who is going to defeat him. And of course, this sense of things coming full circle, where he slaughtered Macduff's family and Macduff now takes revenge and kills him, does relate to the form and structure of the play. But we also have to consider the context here. And why doesn't Shakespeare simply end the play this way with the final battle? Instead, he chooses to end the play with Malcolm being crowned king. And interestingly, that shouldn't be the end of the action either, because who is King James descended from? Not Malcolm. King James, of course, is descended from Banquo's line through Fleance. And there's an irony here in Macbeth's words, because although this sounds like an ending, it isn't. There never is enough, because the future King Malcolm must somehow lose his throne in order for Fleance to become king. And of course, Shakespeare leaves that unspoken. He doesn't tell us how that happens. We might infer from that, if we look at the context, that Shakespeare is quite ambivalent about who is going to become king. So Duncan, who seemed like quite a good king, completely misjudged two of his thanes, the Thane of Cawdor and Macbeth. And then we have Macbeth, who completely misjudged the nature of his own kingship. And then we have Malcolm, who possibly became a good king, but possibly wasn't and got usurped by Fleance. And if we compare that to Shakespeare's own life, he may well have preferred Queen Elizabeth to James, or James to Elizabeth. The point is, he doesn't feel that the person who is king is in any way more suited to that role than somebody else. He doesn't seem to think that becoming king makes you wise or makes you noble. He just sees the role of king as being someone who you must obey and flatter. And you could see the whole of this play as an attempt to flatter King James. You can also see it as a political play, and so Shakespeare is signifying that anyone who tries to kill the king will themselves be damned. So not only might they not succeed in becoming king themselves or keeping hold of that title, they'll lose their soul for eternity. So we could see it as a political play that way, or you could even see it as an anti-war play. So this play famously has more references to blood than probably all of Shakespeare's other plays put together. And it's war that he's protesting against here. It's war against the Norwegians that seems to have tipped Macbeth's balance from loyal warrior to assassin, an incredibly bloodthirsty ruler. It's war that has driven Macduff to kill Macbeth, and possibly will lead to Malcolm being killed in his turn. In other words, as Macbeth himself observes, blood will have blood. So you could even see this as a pacifist play. Or if you're feeling particularly adventurous, there is no stage direction to signify Macbeth being killed, and most versions of the play do not have a battle in which we see Macduff killing Macbeth. And part of the reason for that is that Shakespeare includes the stage direction of Macbeth's head having to be placed on a pole and paraded. And now the problem with that is that you can't really fake the head being chopped off, certainly not in Shakespeare's time. And so he almost makes it inevitable that we don't see Macbeth himself being killed. And so you could interpret that as a kind of sneaky admiration for him for trying to take control of his own life, not letting it be controlled by others. And if you want to extend that further, you can see that's exactly what Shakespeare did. Through his drama, he has completely taken control of his own life and not allowed himself to be dictated to by the fashions of the time. Instead, he has created those fashions. He has been at the forefront of driving this interest in tragic plays, in comedies, in the very growth of the theatre itself. That's Shakespeare. I always get carried away and overexcited with the many interpretations you can offer. Just pick one or two that you enjoyed there, and good luck with your studies and your revision. If you would like more, don't forget to subscribe.